So today was kind of tough. I got to see the kids today finally after almost 3 weeks. And the hard part is knowing that I'm not being allowed to be a part of their daily lives. And it wasn't even a choice of the courts. I have to be patient and wait for the courts to decide. The only problem is, it could be very easy to twist everything that she's making sure happens to color me as a deadbeat, which she and her mother have already tried to convince me and others that I am, but I have proof to the contrary. The testimony of the kids alone would be enough for that. But they're not just some kids I know. I'm being treated like some random uncle that comes around every once in a while. But I was there when each one of them was born. I sacrificed a lot to make sure that I was there for each one of them. I tried to teach them how to be better people than me. Tried to teach them how to be kind and considerate while maintaining boundaries. They don't seem happy. In fact, they seem very depressed. My 4 kids, brilliant, powerful, wise for their ages, observant for the most part, loving. Now they have to have their world torn apart just so one person never has to say I was wrong. I'm sorry. Crazy thing at this point is I'm not even mad about the divorce. I'm mad about how things are affecting the kids. And yes, I know that right now it sounds like I'm trying to triangulate using the kids. People like to throw those terms around just to make me sound horrible or whatever. Just like the extremely false information or at the very least disjointed information that was commented on some of my videos. My daughter, her face lights up every time she sees me. It's hard to know what my oldest is thinking. My namesake. He tries to hide a lot, but he's hurting and I know it. He used to be very, very patient with his siblings, but he's become very impatient with them. And I really think it's because he is feeling what's happening. And he's always been like that. He feels the people around him, feels the circumstances. Unfortunately, he's not I really don't think he's able to really pin down what he's feeling. And it bothers me. I'm being accused of being abusive toward my children. My children beg for me. And when I see my children, they smile and want to be around me. I know the abusive people in my life, the last thing I want is to be around them. I want to be with my kids every day, just like I was. I got them up every morning for school. Got them ready. I sat down at the end of the driveway and waited for the bus with them. When they left, I started my day's work. Preparing for dinner, cleaning the house as I could, doing whatever side work I had available, taking care of animals. I didn't sit much. I was always there waiting for them when they came home, making sure that food was ready for them by the time they walked into the door. I loved doing that for them. I'm being called a deadbeat because I only did what a stay-at-home mom would do. All these women talking about how taking care of the house is a full-time job. But for some reason, when a man's doing it, he's a deadbeat. I mean, is it a full-time job or isn't it? Well, I can tell you right now, it's definitely a full-time job. I helped them with schoolwork after they ate dinner. Or homework, sorry. I was a part of their daily lives, not just an accessory to it. And now, they're growing up without me, almost altogether. She takes kids to the emergency room, and I don't even find out about it until days later, passing conversation. I am being actively excluded from their lives. How on earth could I be mistaken as abusive to the children when I'm not even allowed to be in their lives? Why am I being called the toxic one? It's not. You know, I've said it once before. I think I only said it on Facebook. I can't remember. But victims don't go around attacking people. Abusers do that. Well, I'm going to say this. Excluding a loving parent from the lives of their children just so you can say you won, or so you can have control over everything, is child abuse. And you deserve no less than you desire for me. You are doing those children no favors when you take a loving parent out of their lives I'm not talking about someone who is actively abusive toward them, neglectful, or somehow demeaning toward them. I'm talking about someone who tried their best to do everything they could for these kids and was taken out of their lives against their will. I love my children. And I have a very, very hard time letting them go every time I see them. Because they're not just people I know. They're not tools. They're not extensions of myself. They're not accessories to my life. They are the people who are going to show this world the best that people could possibly be. I have to impart to them all the things I did right and teach them to avoid all the things that I did wrong. And they're going into life without that. All because one person cannot say that they were ever wrong. Because one person wishes to punish the other for ever questioning. You can't use your children as a weapon against the other parent and say that you are not the bad guy. I try to look forward now. I try my hardest not to let these issues with my soon-to-be ex-wife take me over. But I'm missing my children's lives because somebody put their ego ahead of their family. And regardless of what I suffer as a result of this, those children are the ones that are actually paying the real price. Because they'll be going into this world fresh-eyed, carrying the trauma and baggage that's imparted to them by the ego of one person, when all that person had to do was say, "I'm sorry, let me fix it." If somebody tells you you're doing something wrong, fix it. Don't throw them away just because you don't like being questioned.